After everything that happened in Season 19, the teaser for Season 20 immediately makes one thing clear: nothing is staying the same for long. The calm moments at Heartland don't feel as stable anymore. There's a different kind of tension underneath every shot, like everyone is standing at a point where one decision could change their entire future. Amy is at the center of it again, but this time, it's not just about her work or her life at the ranch. It's about where she truly belongs now, and who she's willing to build that future with. Nathan's presence in the teaser feels stronger than ever, even when he's not saying much. His storyline has clearly reached a turning point. After everything he has been through, especially carrying problems that were never really his own, there's a sense that he's finally done waiting. The idea of him and Amy moving forward together is no longer just a quiet possibility. It's now something that feels unavoidable, like the story has been pushing them toward this moment from the very beginning. But what makes this teaser so intense is that it doesn't treat their relationship like a simple love story anymore. It feels heavier than that. There's history, responsibility, and everything they would have to leave behind if they choose each other fully. Amy isn't just thinking about herself. She has Lindy, she has her life at Heartland, and she has years of memories tied to that place. And the teaser makes it clear, those choices are not going to be easy. Every emotional beat in the teaser seems to circle back to one question without actually saying it out loud. Is Amy ready to change her entire life for Nathan, or is she about to realize that some parts of her past are not meant to be left behind? And just when it feels like the answer is coming closer, the teaser pulls back again, leaving everything hanging in uncertainty. That's what makes this season feel different already. It's not just building a story, it's building an ending that might not be simple at all. The teaser for Heartland Season 20 doesn't just focus on Amy and Nathan's relationship in a romantic way, it slowly builds the idea that every choice they make now has real consequences. There's a clear shift in tone compared to previous seasons. It feels like the show is no longer just exploring everyday struggles at the ranch, but instead moving toward decisions that could reshape the entire future of these characters. And that's what makes everything feel more serious this time. Nathan's storyline, in particular, carries a lot of weight in the teaser. He's no longer shown as someone trying to figure things out piece by piece. Instead, he feels more certain, more grounded in what he wants. But that certainty also comes with pressure. Because the more he pushes forward with Amy, the more the question grows about what she might have to give up in return. The idea of Salt Spring Island, or a life outside of Heartland, is not just a background detail anymore. It feels like a real direction the story could take. Amy, on the other hand, is shown in a much more conflicted state. Even without words, her reactions in the teaser suggest that she's standing between two worlds. One is the life she has built at Heartland, filled with family, responsibility, and everything she has known for years. The other is a completely different future with Nathan, something uncertain but emotionally powerful. And the hardest part is that neither choice feels wrong, which makes her decision even more complicated. What stands out most in this part of the teaser is how quietly emotional everything feels. There are no big explanations, no direct answers, just small moments that hint at what's coming. A look, a pause, a hesitation, all of it building towards something bigger. It almost feels like the show is preparing the audience for a turning point rather than just another season. And that's where the tension really starts to grow. Because the more the teaser stays silent, the more it suggests that Season 20 is not going to be about small changes anymore. It's about life-changing decisions that cannot be undone. As the teaser continues, it becomes clear that Heartland Season 20 is not only focusing on Amy and Nathan, but also quietly setting up the rest of the family dynamics in the background. Even when they are not directly involved in the main emotional moments, their presence is still felt in every decision that is being made. The ranch itself almost feels like another character in the story, holding on to memories while slowly being pulled into a future that might not look the same anymore. One of the strongest feelings the teaser gives is uncertainty about what home really means for Amy now. Heartland has always been her foundation, the place where she grew up, built her career, and raised Lindy. But now, with Nathan becoming such an important part of her life, that definition of home starts to feel complicated. It's no longer just a physical place. It becomes a question of where her heart truly belongs, and whether she can divide herself between two completely different worlds without losing something important in the process. At the same time, the teaser subtly reminds us that life at Heartland doesn't stop moving forward. There are responsibilities, family ties, and emotional connections that cannot simply be left behind. Even if Amy considers a new path, she cannot ignore everything she has built there. That emotional weight is what makes her situation so intense. It's not about choosing between good and bad, it's about choosing between two lives that both feel meaningful in different ways. Nathan's role in this part of the story becomes even more interesting because he is not shown as someone forcing a decision. Instead, he feels like someone waiting, but also hoping. There is a quiet understanding in his character that love alone is not enough to make everything simple. And that adds another layer to the tension between them, because it shows that even if they want the same future, the path to get there is still unclear. By this point in the teaser, the audience is left with a growing feeling that Season 20 is not just continuing the story, it is slowly preparing to redefine it. Every moment feels like it is leading towards something irreversible, and the silence between those moments is what makes everything feel even more powerful. As the teaser moves forward, it starts hinting that Season 20 won't just test relationships, it will test how much each character is willing to change for the people they love. The emotional weight becomes heavier, especially around Amy's situation, because nothing about her decision feels simple anymore. It's no longer just about saying yes or no to Nathan. It's about what kind of life she is willing to step into, and whether that life can still hold everything she has built so far. There's also a growing sense that time itself is becoming important in this story. The teaser doesn't rush anything, but it also doesn't feel like it's staying in one place either. Every moment seems carefully placed, like the story is slowly moving toward a point where decisions can't be delayed anymore. That pressure adds to the tension, because it suggests that whatever happens this season, it won't be something that can be easily undone later. What makes this even more intense is how the teaser handles silence. Instead of giving answers, it keeps showing emotional pauses, unfinished conversations, and uncertain expressions. That style of storytelling makes everything feel more realistic, but also more unpredictable. It keeps the audience stuck between hope and doubt, never fully confirming where things are heading, but clearly showing that something big is building underneath it all. Nathan and Amy's connection continues to feel like the emotional center of everything, but now it carries a different tone compared to earlier seasons. It feels less like discovery and more like consequence. Every interaction between them feels meaningful, like it is leading toward a final decision that will define their future together. And that's what makes this teaser so effective. It doesn't just show love, it shows the cost of love when life becomes complicated. By the end of this part, the feeling is unmistakable. Season 20 is not trying to repeat old patterns. It is pushing every character toward a moment where they will have to choose what truly matters to them, even if that choice changes everything they know. By the time the teaser reaches its final moments, it leaves behind more questions than answers, and that feels completely intentional. There is no clean resolution, no clear direction, just a strong sense that Heartland Season 20 is building towards something much bigger than a normal continuation. Everything now feels like it is slowly converging toward one final emotional turning point, even if it hasn't fully revealed what that moment will be yet. The most important thing the teaser communicates at this stage is change. Not small change, but the kind that reshapes lives. Amy's journey is no longer just about being torn between love and responsibility. It feels like she is standing at a point where whichever path she chooses will permanently define her future. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the tension alive. Nothing feels guaranteed anymore, not even the idea of what home means. Nathan's presence in this final stretch of the teaser feels steady, but also quietly vulnerable. He knows what he wants, but the story makes it clear that wanting something and actually having it are two very different things. There's an emotional patience in his character, like he understands that real decisions take time, even when the outcome matters deeply. That balance between hope and uncertainty is what keeps his storyline so compelling heading into Season 20. What stands out most is how the teaser avoids giving closure. Instead, it builds atmosphere. It builds emotion. It builds pressure. And that pressure doesn't disappear when the teaser ends, it stays with the viewer, making everything feel like it is leading toward a much larger moment that hasn't arrived yet. That's why Season 20 already feels different. It's not just continuing a story, it's preparing to redefine it. And that final impression is what lingers the most. Heartland is no longer just showing where its characters are right now. It is showing where they are about to go, even if that path changes everything along the way.